Namaste and greetings, my friends. My name is Carmen Santosha from the website Healing the Planet from Within, and you're on my YouTube channel, Healing the Planet from Within. I'm here in India deepening my spiritual practice, so you notice that I have a slightly different look than my other videos, and came from the ashram this morning and deepening my knowledge of spirituality. And what a better place to do this, of course, is here in India. So what's coming recently to me is the benefits of the Reiki energy healing practice. Now, I do energy healing and I teach a program called The Mysteries of a Modern Mystic, and I'm actually deepening this by incorporating Reiki. So today I wanted to teach you how to use the Reiki symbols, the Reiki level 2 symbols, to heal anxiety, to reduce anxiety, to work with your anxiety levels. In my family lineage, in my family line, anxiety exists. So I know how debilitating anxiety can be. It can increase this fear level inside of you where you can't actually focus on creating your life and expanding your reality. But Reiki is so good for changing so many things. Now, when I'm talking about Reiki, I'm talking about the more expansive version of Reiki. When I was first Reiki attuned, I was given a very watered down version of the Reiki healing system, and I think this is natural in the Western world, but the Reiki energy is universal, and it's a healing practice that's I believe it originated here in India, because it's about improving yourself, self-improvement, working with your mind and your thoughts and your emotions are the first few steps, like yamas and niyamas in the 8 lives of Patanjali. I believe these practices around the world are interrelated, interconnected. But for now, let's use the word Reiki because I want to inspire you to step on this practice. In fact, it has become my mission to attune 1 million people to being a Reiki master. Now, what does this mean to a Reiki master? It doesn't mean you've mastered Reiki. It doesn't mean you've mastered the energy healing system, but instead it means that you are dedicated to improving your life, to becoming a better person. And the system is really fun. I teach Reiki level 1, 2, and master level, and to people around the world. And I'd be excited to have you on board with me if you'd like to come. But first, let's get into, right now, let's get into the Reiki symbols and how you can use these to reduce anxiety. So you need to be Reiki level 2 attuned, of course, in order to work with the symbols. And the reason for this is because in Reiki level 1, Reiki level 1 is deepening your own self-improvement, your own self-healing. It's really focused on looking at that personal template, using the Reiki 5 precepts, deepening your journey with the 5 precepts, and personalizing them for yourself as well. There's a lot of depth in there. You can go into yamas and niyamas to help you deepen, which is what I absolutely love doing. I have a degree in counseling and psychology, and I know the benefits of becoming thought aware and emotional awareness, and being able to steer these two in a direction that creates your reality. Of course, this makes total sense, right? So, but in Reiki level 2, we learn how to deepen our energy practice and work with the more expansive energies. So for instance, okay, so let's work with, there's 2 symbols we're going to work with in order to work with our anxiety. And the first one, of course, is always Chokure. Now, Chokure is like my best friend, and I use both the symbols and the Koto Dhamma. If you haven't heard of Koto Dhamma, you really need to join my Reiki 2 level class and upgrade, because the watered down version of Reiki doesn't have the Koto Dhamma. This is the spirit sounds of the symbols. So I use both with Chokure. I use the symbols and the spirit sounds. So first, what this does is bring in light. You know, it brings in that essence of universal energy, this openness. And what happens is it shifts you into another state of reality. Now, the best way I can describe this, for instance, if you're feeling anxiety or depression, it's hard to get out of that, right? It's hard to get out of that. In fact, you're feeling stuck in it. You know, depression really gets you into that, oh, poor me mindset, very critical, very judgmental, very helpless, very hopeless. And you can't really create this healing process when you're stuck in that. So Chokure first eases that. It eases that stuckness. It starts to loosen it up. It starts to bring in a different power. So if you're doing that every day, you're increasing conscious awareness. So that's another practice, of course, that I want you to get involved with when you're studying with me. There's so much fun to play with here. So Reiki level, in Reiki level 2 first, Chokure, to start shifting that energy around you with anxiety, okay? So that you're not stuck. You're actually starting to think more clearly, increase your conscious awareness. And then you use Seihei-ki. Now, Seihei-ki works directly with the mind and the emotions, and it will give you clarity. It's like shining this light on your stuck patterns, and you can start to see it clearly. Now, when you can witness a stuck pattern, this is when you can change it. Because you can't change anything you can't see. Seriously, you have to be able to look at it, and Seihei-ki helps you look at that. So then you incorporate Seihei-ki in your healing process, and you start to look at the patterns, and you start to see them like, oh, I know where this one came from. You know, my mom or my dad or my grandmother did this, and I can see that if I do this, then I feel this. If I do this, then I see that. If I think this, I'm going to feel this. You start to see it. So if you don't think this anymore, and then you don't create this anxiety, this rumination thing. Now we can go deeper into that, but that's a Reiki master process. It's working with deeper energies. We're actually going to the origins, the source of the issue. But I teach that, you know, after Reiki master level. It's a very, very powerful process, but you have to be familiar with working with the energies before you tap into this. So Reiki level 1 is really looking at your patterns. Reiki level 2 is to be able to shift them into another level, and it's a deeper process. This is the only way I know how to say this, a deeper process. So yeah, that's how you work with the Reiki symbols in order to reduce anxiety. So let me get a little bit more specific here, because I want you to be able to do this after this video. Okay, so Chokure, use your Chokure in the room. Imagine it shining in the room. So you say, you know, Chokure the symbol 3 times, or you write it 1 time, or you're chanting the symbols to generate that energy within your body, in your physical body. Tony, it brings in your physical body. It's way more powerful to me than just using a symbol. So, but whichever one you choose to work with, activate that in the room. Imagine it within your room, imagine it within yourself. Bring that light. It shines that light. It snaps you out of the anxiety and depression. You start to go, wow, okay, now I can see it. Bring in Seihei-ki. Like then again, sing. Write the symbol once and chant and say it 3 times, or do the koto dama of Seihei-ki. That brings it in. Now have a notepad and pen handy. You can see I've been working on a few different things myself. I'm not going to show that to you because that's another YouTube video. So I actually write down stuff in my notebook, and I then think, okay, what patterns am I working with anxiety? Now in that trance state, you've got Chokure and Seihei-ki activated, like they're alive within your room, within your body. Then you write down the information that comes to you. Ask your higher self questions. Ask that universal energy, the God source energy, the information you need to know, right? So, and this is where many, many blessings come. Many blessings come in this state. Because you're given the information. In fact, I did that the other day, and I was thinking, what am I doing now in my life? Where is my life going? Where should I steer my life in this direction? What can I open up? And I started talking to my higher self in this trance state. I asked a question, I wrote down the question, then the answer that comes to you. And the answer that comes to you is in different language than what you would normally use, so you can go back and read it and go, that's a lot of wisdom. So with anxiety, specifically focus on anxiety. What's making me feel anxious? And you might get information like this thought pattern, right? This thought pattern starts to create that. And then you can write down the thought pattern that's creating that rumination. Oh my God, why is he doing this? Or why is she doing this? Or people always irritate me. Then that one negative thought that you identify in this process, that one negative thought that keeps repeating over and over and over again, that starts building the anxiety, then you do the transformation process. You write down a positive thought, and in your mind's eye, you imagine the old one being erased, like with an eraser, right? You just erase it, and then you put the new one there. It's like you're writing over top of that, the old one with the new one, the new thought pattern you want in your life, instead of, oh my God, why? Let's think of a negative thought pattern for a minute. Hang on. Why is everything bad happening to me? Right? So you can have that thought pattern stuck in your mind from an old pattern, like you've had a lot of things happen in your reality, a lot of hard times. You think, why is everything bad happening to me? Nothing ever good is going to happen to me. And then imagine yourself in your mind's eye in this higher state of vibration, using those two symbols. Erase them, erase those two. And you can say, miracles are around every corner. Life is ours, joyful and fascinating. New people come into my world that help me, like, expand my reality. I'm always increasing my conscious awareness. I'm always grateful for everything that's happening to me. You can start writing so many fun, new, positive thoughts, and then just imagine them sinking into your mind and allow them to sink into your body. Now think then, in that moment, say, hey, key again, tone it or write it, and allow that process to deepen. So once that's deepened inside of you, you can slowly come out of that trance state, out of that Reiki healing state, and you give the deepest thanks for the God source, for your guides, for your higher self, for your spirit guides. Thank you for guiding me through this process, and thank you for helping me change and heal, and use your deepest gratitude. And then you're finished. So that's how to heal or reduce anxiety using the Reiki symbols. And I'm hoping you had a lot of juicy good information coming in this video. My mission is now to Reiki Master, tune 1 million people around the world, and I'd like you to come on board with me. Reiki 1, Reiki 2, and Reiki Master level, you can start wherever you need to. We'll get on a video call. What I do is you just go to my website and book in a session, and we're going to chat about where you are in your Reiki journey right now. If you're beginning level, then we're going to start your Reiki level 1, right? If you've already done Reiki level 1, I want to know how deeply you've gone into Reiki level 1 with your inner healing. And if you've deepened enough, then you can go straight into Reiki 2, or you might need to do Reiki 1 again. And then if you've done Reiki 2 and you think you're ready for Reiki Master level, we're going to talk about that. So I'm very, very keen to do this, because you can imagine, just right now, imagine 1 million people around the world becoming Reiki Masters and focused on improving their lives, what this is going to do to the world. Okay, so my name is Carmen Santosha. My website is Healing the Planet from Within, and you're on my YouTube, Healing the Planet from Within. And I'm super excited you're here with me on this journey. I'm in India deepening my spiritual practice, and you can see this by the change of my look. You know, my hair is short, got kumkum on my head, and I'm focusing on deepening meditation. Meditation is for me using the symbols as, there's so much I want to share with you. Subscribe to my YouTube channel so I can share that with you, and you're not going to miss a beat. And I look forward to seeing you in my next video, or book a session. Let's meet in person. Okay, namaste.